This episode is brought to you by Greenskies Analytics, an audit analytics service provider that works with internal audit departments that have data analysts and are still frustrated with trying to make analytics actually work, aren't getting the expected ROI, who can't break through the communication barrier between the analysts and the audit team, and those that need experienced direction through an audit analytics strategy and process. Those that feel like they've wasted time and money on trainings, aren't getting the value they want, not prioritizing the highest risk areas for the organizations, or have projects that seemingly never get completed. Do you deal with any of that? If you do, go to the show notes of this episode and click the Greenskies Analytics link, or go to greenskiesanalytics.com to schedule a call and understand how Greenskies Analytics makes analytics actually work for internal audit. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Audit Podcast. I'm your host, Trent Russell. Today we are going guestless. I just wanted to make the announcement tomorrow, so on January 22nd, if you're listening to this on its published date, we are doing a webinar with AuditBoard about agentic AI for internal auditors and what that actually means, demystifying what agents are. You've likely seen it in the news recently, so ChatGPT just came out with their version of it called Tasks, very version 1.0 of agentic AI. But you can play around with that. Gemini or Google's has some also that some users have access to, so maybe you can play around with that. We built 3 agents, and so that's what we're going to show, are those 3 agents that we built and how they work together. And so if you're already confused about what agents are, I'll just at a high level, if you can't make the webinar. Also, if you can't make the webinar, though, they're always on demand. So the link to the webinar is going to be in the show notes. Click that, attend if you can. If not, again, if the link doesn't take you to the on-demand version, you could search very easily Trent Russell, AuditBoard, agents, AI, and you'll come across it. But just real quick, one way to think about agents is, especially the internal audit, is just think about the roles that each person has on an audit team. So the example we're going to show that we built was we have a data analyst agent, a senior agent, and a manager agent. So the data analyst agent goes and does the analysis, terminated users, classic audit analytics use case. So that agent goes and does that automatically. And then right when that's done, the senior agent goes in and takes the results and basically writes a report and does a detailed review like you would typically expect of a senior auditor. And then the manager agent comes in at the very end of the process and reviews the work and provides a general review as opposed to a detailed review, and then ultimately spits out the audit report is the example that we ran with. So if you are interested, if you want to learn more about agents after the webinar even, please feel free, shoot me a message on LinkedIn. Just say the word agents. I'll know what you mean. Or you can shoot me an email and we'll do the same, and we'll talk about how we can get agents potentially running your internal audit department. If you're you do a lot of SOX work, this is brilliant and absolutely what we've all been hoping for in automating SOX procedures. All right, thank you. Hey everyone, thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Audit Podcast. Whatever platform you're listening on right now, I'm sure there's a subscribe button somewhere, so please hit the subscribe button there. If you're listening through iTunes or Spotify, feel free to go give us that 5-star rating. It only took me about 16 seconds to give myself a 5-star review, and it really helps to get future guests to come on the show, so we'd really appreciate that. Lastly, be sure to check out the show notes and follow us on all our social media channels on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on TikTok. Also, if interested, please sign up for our weekly newsletter from the Audit Podcast. Thank you all. Have a great one.